picks and bans. Thank you so much, Hunter, for that follow. Say that again?
No, I love my Chromecast.
Yeah, but apparently it's not working for this channel. I'm not really sure why. I haven't done anything particular on my end to say that you can't do that. I think it'd be amazing if you guys had this on your big screen, able to sit back, grab that popcorn, and enjoy what's turning out to be a pretty spicy series so far. GMU definitely struggling. They look like they need something to get them back into this game, and it was not last game that was shut down so hard they decided to go ahead and speed the process up. FF, clean it up, say let's get a mental reset and come back for game number 4. Here's my question. Do they go back to what they're used to, what they were kind of running in game number 1, very standard comp, get a frontline tank, get an engage, get an ADC, get an AP in the mid lane, just roll it like normal? Or do they try to do something different, because last game, that really fell apart for them?
So now you say like normal, but I say it's more of a wombo combo. So there's 3 distinct different play styles right now in League of Legends. The Korean play style and the Chinese play style are the 2 main ones, and then I honestly have to say that the Vietnamese players have their own entirely distinct playstyle that I won't even begin to discuss for lack of misunderstanding it. But the Chinese playstyle is what we've been seeing here today, right? The Korean playstyle means very heavy on vision control, objectives, towers. This is where you end up winning games, down kills. The Chinese playstyle, though, heavy team fights for those objectives, and all the vision gets set up within the last minute or 3 before it can ever come down, right? Like, they are dealing with it at the very last moment. The rest of the time, they're trying to outplay their opponents with skill. I think that if George Mason University wants to win, they have to recognize that they're playing the Chinese style of League of Legends today.
And I don't know how well that's going to work. They first pick Sivir. They're so confident on Enrique on this champion. They will first pick Sivir, but they have allowed Urgot and Lissandra to go through once again for the side of Austin. Now, this is so far 2 picks that last game, Austin absolutely walked through the members of GMU. That said, maybe Anime Lover will play something different than Hecarim. That was kind of the big sore spot, the big red flag. And it's going to be Nico that's allowed through. Hold on, I missed it. It wasn't banned away. Okay, this game just got flipped 180. Anime Lover is a monster on this champion. Now I am hyped for this game.
Yeah, now Anime Lover definitely kind of the heartbeat of this team, I have to say. And when I say the heartbeat, I don't mean that he's the carry, I don't mean that he does the most, and I don't mean that he doesn't do the most. I simply mean that the team moves to the vibration that he puts out. And putting him onto a champion like Nico, that is a lot of vibrations.
We also have that Galio taken away by Austin. So far, it's been 2 straight games of Galio. The last game, it was the Xayah Rakan paired up in the bottom lane for Enrique and Rylas. That did not work out so well for them. Way too squishy as the game progressed. They got instantly shut down multiple times. And now they're also going to lose the Galio. So Rylas is going to have to go on something majorly different. And I'd really like to see him on some kind of engage and tank, as that seems to be GMU's favorite thing, is that wombo combo tanky powerhouse, and something like an Alistar that, basically says to Lissandra trying to engage, or a Galio trying to engage, just headbutts them backwards. Or if he decides, you know what, Nico's coming in from the side lane, gonna flash forward with the ultimate, let me just headbutt pulverize into the middle of the enemy team, cause chaos to allow Nico to get this ultimate off. I don't know, what are your thoughts? Is it Leona Bay? Is it Leona? Oh, there's the Alistar Bay, they're listening! We are over 2 minutes ahead of this team, and yet Austin somehow is listening to me and bans away the Alistar. Man.
So, I want to see how the draft rounds out before I really make comments. I can make noises, but noises aren't going to do a lot. Now, they have drafted their solo lanes very early and their support. So this leaves very little secrets in the draft, and that scares me a bit. We're going to have to see if George Mason is, or if their coach more, better put, if he's able to work with this. There's a lot of information, especially for the blue side.
See what happens. Lucian, Galio, a pretty nice combo as well. When Galio gets that taunt down, Lucian's able to drop that light slinger passive, a couple of auto attacks as well as that piercing light Q. Pretty quick to knock somebody's health off. And so it's really strong powerhouse in the bottom lane for Austin once again. Different champions, but still going to be scary as Rylas seems to be going for the Karma for the bottom lane. Very different look. Not the tanky front line, but they might still be able to roll that tank as they've got that Shen who can jump across the... Wait, no.
What? That's a... Where's the dodge? Is this what we dodged for? There's no way this is a Nocturne. I'm a Nocturne... I'm not just a Nocturne enthusiast. I consider myself a Nocturne one-trick a lot of the time.
GMU must be desperate if they are going to go for a Nocturne top lane. There's no way that's in the mid lane. It's not a mid lane jungle. It could be Firefly on the Nocturne and Ion on the Sejuani top. Could be Sejuani top, Nocturne jungle. Let's see, as players are going to move around, I do want to give a quick, I don't even know who that was. Thank you to Lolpeel for that follow, appreciate that. I really wish that I could turn the sound effects off. I went to Streamlabs and literally shut every single sound effect off for the entirety of everything. Like literally, follows, raids, everything. I turned all the sounds to 0, saved it all before the stream ever went live, and somehow it's still coming through. But appreciate you following nonetheless. We shoutcast every Tuesday and Thursday on XLNC Shoutcasting, as well as been enjoying a lot of this collegiate League of Legends scene. There's the trades, and it is a Sejuani in the top lane, Nocturne in the jungle. So now that we see where everyone's finally going, a Urgot jungle for Austin. Give it to me straight. What are your thoughts? See, did you see what I did there? Give it to me straight. Haha.
Yeah, so I can definitely do that for you. As we finish off the draft, I think that this is an overwhelming advantage for the side of UT Austin. I don't believe in Sejuani top, and if I did believe in Sejuani top, let me say I would not believe it. I would not believe in it into Gangplank, who has, what is it, 30% armor penetration? Somebody could look that up if they really care to find out. It's a ridiculous amount. But it's an Urgot jungle, so what do I know?
Right? That is the question. He's very squishy. Nocturne also a bit squishy, but I feel like with the fear, Firefly could find an advantage if he's trying to invade into that Nocturne or that Urgot's side of the jungle. But that said, Nocturne really doesn't want to be invading. He doesn't want to be looking to skirmish or 1v1 fight. He wants to farm like a madman to hit level 6 and actually make an impact in these lanes. So I feel like these junglers may be left alone for a while. And now we look to that top lane. Gangplank versus Sejuani. I mean, Gangplank's not the best early game champion, but Sejuani's not, generally speaking, considered a top laner. And the scaling on Gangplank is mind-boggling. So, I gotta say, overall, I'm liking UT Austin's composition as a whole. They've got strong AP Lissandra, strong AD Lucian, across the map plays from Galio, split push Gangplank, engage Urgot. That, I mean, that's probably the one weakest point for them. And he's a jungler. He could just sit in the jungle, farm away, kind of like a Karthus, and wait until he's able to get past his early game squishiness into his more mid-game team fighting opportunities. I don't know. This might just be another quick game.
Okay, so let me just say first, I think that they're trolling.
What are you going to say second?
I want to know why. Like, I'm missing the point. Right? Because, like, it's very clear the teams... So, there's a scenario in which this is real, right? But the only scenario in which this is real is one in which Sejuani into Urgot isn't a matchup you want to play into. So you actually want to put Urgot into the jungle rather than swap Lissandra and Urgot more.
Well, yeah, so...
Does that make sense?
Let's talk about the positives for GMU, all right? Kind of like you're going into... I don't know. I'm really looking at the entire thing going, you've got a Nico who can definitely hold her own against Lissandra. Pop Blossom is amazing amounts of damage and CC. Sivir's got really good wave clear. So, all right. The bottom lane, Karma and Sivir, are going to get shoved in. However, or they could just safely sit and farm away. Look for the wave clear, look for the Karma shields to just kind of sustain them through the laning phase. Nico looking to hit level 6, maybe make some roams. She might even be able to 1v1 Lissandra if she can get that Lissandra ultimate off. Nocturne hitting level 6 could provide some engages, but that's Sejuani top lane I still don't know about.
Yeah, Sejuani top, I mean, you have to at least pretend it was scary enough that they didn't want to play on it like that, right? Or against it like that. I'm trying to give it something here. I really am. Maybe I'm fishing.
Well, Sejuani's going to have to be fishing for the CC, that's for sure, as it's going to be an interesting game. To be fair, CC from Sejuani is pretty nice if she's able to lock someone down with that glacial prison, I believe it is. There's triple glacials, and we had it happen last Saturday. There's glacial prison from the Sejuani, glacial tomb from Lissandra, and glacial fissure from the Braum. This time, we've got 2 of them in this game, as the Ice Sisters will be duking it out. And we'll see which comes out in the lead. There are pings already, though, from Austin as we get into game number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you and thank you all for joining us on this adventure. Austin's 2-up over GMU's 1. The pings in the top lane didn't seem to be referring to much. Everyone just kind of goes back to their little bit of a vision game. Everyone spread across the river wide, testing the boundaries of their lanes. As we're in a little bit of a slower point, if you are in the chat and you're watching this game, be sure and drop a hashtag Austin win or a hashtag GMU win if you support either of these teams. Austin's looking pretty strong. We'll see if they can come out with a nice, simple 3-1 after losing the early game to a really bad decision to split between the Dragon and the Baron. Okay, so after George Mason wins this, do we finally see an Invaders at another 5-point? I'm going to guess that it's going to be another 5-point. And here's the reason why I say that. It's because games 1, you don't want to because you're not sure what the enemy opponent's strategy is. Game 5, everything is on the line. You cannot make a single mistake. And even though you're going to be looking for advantages left, right, and center, as Enrique is going to be a possible advantage for Austin, already dropping that Sivir down to about half. Great chunking. You're trying to find every advantage you can. You don't want to make a mistake, and invades can usually make mistakes. That said, or in addition to that, most of the champions that you want to be invading with are things like a Braum, things like a Thresh, maybe even a Morgana for that early game CC. Neither of these teams have really ran it besides Austin with a Morgana, and so I just don't feel like an invade's going to happen this series, unfortunately. Man, see, that feels bad because we didn't see the invade with the Morgana, so it did make me think it won't ever happen, honestly. Well, the lanes are going to be going pretty steadily. Nice jock up by the Sejuani, just pushing Railgun down a little bit, and that's kind of what you need to do against this Gangplank, as his scaling is going to be pretty impressive. I want to see how Ion does. Not only being able to kind of try to shove this Gangplank out from underneath his own turret, though that Scurvy is going to be a bit difficult to deal with, or Clear Scurvy going to be a bit difficult to deal with. Could potentially roam and join the jungler and making plays in the mid lane, or with that TP, maybe even coming to the bottom lane and trying to find a early game 5v2 fight or something of that sort. Oh, field blown early out of Enrique. Now, that's one of the master players on the side of George Mason. The other master player, of course, in the top lane on Sejuani right now, actually beating Railgun up. Showing the power of this sleeper OP pick. Railgun definitely. No, wow. Bit of a struggle. Yeah, it took the grasp. Hold on, thank you for the win. Fighting a nice taunt and ignite straight onto Rylas in the bottom lane. The Karma Shield gonna keep her alive for now. Enrique in trouble. The Flash Requiem to guarantee the kill. That's first blood over to Austin already. Though all of the members down there low on health will be forced to back away. Rylas unable to do anything after burning Flash to just survive. So now, in the top lane, we're just seeing it's actually pretty even. Now, what's going to be interesting here is if GP can actually sustain without using his oranges. Wow, Poobers takes a lot of damage there. But GP, if he can sustain without oranges, will actually, I think, win out here.
just because he can Q poke and he can heal off of that.
First blood to the side of Austin, and they are the early game team. They're the team that, generally speaking, can build advantages for themselves in the laning phase. Urgot just focused on this farm, going to be matching up with Nocturne when it comes to overall farm, and Urgot's down a level, but after he takes this blue buff, should be able to get right back up on par with this Nocturne. Other than that, it's a bit of a slower start. Some nice action in that bottom lane. Ocean Drake to begin the game. Not the most exciting Drake, but definitely good to have in laning phase if you find yourself being able to get a kill on the enemy team jungler and have that pressure.
Now, I'm really interested to watch these jungle paths again, as Urgot's clear, like the chat was saying, actually fast enough to have an empty jungle while Nocturne has 3 camps up. But Nocturne will end up in the positive position here if he just pushes up into Raptors and then goes back down for Scuttle. He'd need to have the God vision we have, though, to know that's the optimal play right now.
Nocturne's on that top side, might find himself facing off against the Gangplank, because Sejuani has teleported back to that top lane. A small CS lead for her, so doing fairly well so far, but definitely wants at least an item or two to really begin to get
from Celsius
into this
he's
game.
going over the wall, too. But the pings come out from the blue side, so they know. I don't know how they know, but they know.
Just 3,000 IQ, slow walking spider Urgot himself. Just immediately walks away. Didn't even clear the control ward down there. Walked right through that brush.
Yeah, he may not have seen that, or just didn't feel bothered to handle it. Unfortunately, though, Nocturne does get the spot on him on the ward, and his team does get vision of Urgot taking a very leisurely stroll, and doesn't extend up to take either of these 2 camps that are still left up.
He is
Urgot,
starting the Ocean
very
Drake.
Disrespectful.
He's actually started the Ocean Drake. No, I think he might have even gone to the better IQ. He says, I was seen on these wards, so they know that I'm around. However, they're not going to expect me to start the Ocean Drake. Drops him under 200 health, but is joined by his allies to secure a super early Ocean Drake for UT Austin.
He goes super low there. Oh, that's just... it's calculated in the respect that the bot lane shoved in and they would need to have information there, and the bot lane does have some information, so I'm surprised they actually don't realize that's
Railgun, we're gonna get stunned up by Ion, but
yeah,
just clear scurvy. Yep, eats the oranges.
Won't have it for right here, though, as Firefly comes in.
Yeah, it's a level 5 on the Nocturne. Doesn't want to try to do anything shenanigans with his ultimate, as he doesn't have it yet, so just backs away, but kind of just drifts by, says, what's up? Just making sure you know that I'm here. Nice spell shield, but that's straight into the top. They've got a lot of damage, and the Ignite burning down on Enrique. GP ultimate to guarantee that. Rylas is slowed down with that GP ultimate, but they don't go for the kill. They just want to knock the Sivir down 0-2. What a rough start for Enrique.
Yeah, rough is one way to put it. He was chunked out very low very early, though, and it's hard to come back from that, honestly.
And Requiem also starting the Vamp Scepter as well, so maybe going... That doesn't build into the Blade of the Ruined King at the start, does it?
The what? The Vamp Scepter? That'll build into the Cut List, and then that'll build into...
Okay, Cut List to then Blade of the Ruined King. So he is going that route. That's what I was kind of sitting there going, hold on a second. I'm not an ADC, so I'm trying to remember my ADC build paths. Anime Lover in the mid lane, building a nice 10 CS lead against Poopster. Is one of the first times he's been able to actually do that in these games. So good on him, but hasn't been able to make much with that. No rotations, just sitting and farming in the mid lane.
Yeah, no. I think Poopers is going to have to start using his mana if he wants to really at least get something done in this game. Not even the lane, like, I mean the game. Instead takes a bunch of damage just for being around.
Lissandra gonna take a bit more damage, throws out the claw. Nice escape. Actually walked forward to cause Nico to kind of, you know, freak out for just a second. Sends out the clone, a little bit of an auto attack, and then backs away. So Lissandra able to get back to base safely. However, will lose out some more pressure as Nico can shove that wave underneath that turret. Maybe pick off a plate of her own.
Yeah, and it looks like Requiem is just asserting his will and dominance, and pretty much has been this whole series. Except for the first game, right?
No, even game 1, that was the Caitlyn Morgana where they absolutely pooped
right.
on the bottom lane. It just so happened that as the game progressed later and later, there was more advantage for GMU when it came to the bigger team fights. But yeah, early game, this bottom lane from UT Austin has just been insane, and Requiem still just styling on them, up 30 CS, and that lead's just going to keep growing without a jungler intervention. Both junglers on this top side. Nocturne ultimate going to be used. The Paranoia. They're going to find the fear onto the GP. He's going to fall. Urgot's here as well, though. I don't think that Celsius is going to be able to do that much. Kind of just showed upset. High Lysandra around the corner as well. This might be a 2v3. Firefly is extremely low. Nico ultimate going to come in. They're going to stun up and drop the Urgot. And now Poopsters is all by himself. They left Lysandra walk, but that's 2 kills for GMU in that top side.
Yeah, now, as we saw there, Nico is just a very potent pick. Able to use that ultimate in so many different ways, and in this way, just secures a free kill.
It's good to get that Nico further ahead because Anime Lover at this point is one of the few truly winning lanes. So Johnny's kind of gone even against this GP, so good stuff there. However, Anime Lover definitely showing up big in this mid lane. Nico, as we kind of expected him to do. And so if we can get any more gold with that kill on this Nico as the game progresses, that's what GMU is going to need.
So, oh, it looks like Enrique.
Oh, gonna be jumping forward. Requiem uses the heal. He's ignited, but look at the healing off of the Cutlass. And now the Karma gonna be sped forward. Firefly here as well. Nice knockup from the Galio. Gonna be CCing Rylas for a moment. GP ultimate comes in as well because Popers has come down here using the ultimate on herself. Make sure the rest of the team is gonna survive everything. Now they can move on to the turret itself, taking plates left, right, and center. They might be able to take down the entire turret itself. Urgot's around the corner. Nico has come in, though, from that top side, has the Nocturne skin on her. They're going to be able to secure another plate and a half. And there is an Infernal Drake that just spawned on the map. Firefly, that's not him. Firefly is actually around the corner as well. We got 2 Nocturnes just floating around. And the Infernal Drake has been started up. UT Austin may be able to secure it before the Sejuani TPing, and she is able to TP in, but the Infernal Drake's already gone over. There's the Nocturne dropping the Paranoia. The Galio may jump his way to safety, gets over the wall with a nice flash. Are you kidding me? Thank you for the win, gets out from that as well. GMU continue to just lose.
Now, it's been a very long time since we had a break in the action, so rather than try to break down anything that happened for y'all, let me tell you where this game should be heading. Now, there's going to be a big focus on the top side of the map because all the objectives have been taken on the bottom side, except for the standing gold and these 2 platings left in the turret. We just have to imagine that all the vision needs to be flushed up to this top side really quick. I mean, as we can already see from the side of UT Austin, a control ward being cleared out by Sejuani right now will be the furthest upward for them.
And you want to get that Rift Herald that opens up so many options for you, and taking down those turrets, especially if you can secure it and get it dropped before the plates go down. The Rift Herald can definitely do a good job at securing those plates as we get into a short pause, giving us a little bit of time to actually break down some of the team fights and where the game as a whole stands. 2,000 gold lead for UT Austin. I mean, GMU, are they looking like another game 3?
I mean, we have to believe that they're looking like a game 1, right? It's 2-4. They already matched their kills from last game.
And they're not that 5,000 gold lead down but by the 15-minute mark. I mean, I think we even went to 11,000 gold down when we hit that 15 mark in the last game, and they just went ahead and surrendered. So they definitely have a chance to come back into the game, and I think a heavy amount of that is off of this Nico in the mid lane. Already a kill up, about 20 CS over this Lysandra, and Anime Lover's just a fantastic Nico player in general. So,
Honestly, just a fantastic player.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. So looking for these more grouped plays, looking to use the Sejuani in pairing with the Nocturne, and we're actually right back into game. The pause has been unsealed, so we can actually watch what happens and see if they can find that grouping team fight they just know and love so much.
Yeah, no, it's pretty phenomenal. Out of the side of George Mason, at least I think that they're still in this one and they're still trying to make pressure with the Sejuani top lane, who's actually outbeating a Gangplank.
10 CS up, 2 assists though, so Ion definitely being more of the supportive role, which I'm a big fan of. You want to have a beefy frontliner. Urgot's around the corner, but Enrique may just go down to the culling. The Galio chasing and pushing Ryless backwards, making sure that the Karma doesn't engage, as Firefly maybe joining his bottom laners here. He's going to back away, nothing too much, as Requiem's going to continue to just chunk people down every time he dives forward with that relentless pursuit.
So I'm really excited to see when the Galio starts to push the advantage into other lanes.
Hold on, that might be a stun down, but the flash used by Ion, he hasn't even worried about the stun down to Railgun. He should be chomped up and chewed down, spat out by Urgot, claiming a nice kill for himself. Okay, I wasn't sure if Nocturne was going to drop the Paranoia in the bottom lane. It's not up yet, so he has to float himself away.
Oof. So they're going to be getting this plating down on the next wave, and it looks like they're going to be taking the bot plating here as well from the side of UT Austin. And
there's that Paranoia coming in. Yeah. The flash used by the Lucian. He's going to be dropping low. Galio goes ahead and use that ultimate, making sure to disengage any chase. Ryless looking for the snare. They should be able to get the root onto the Galio. He's going to try to heroic charge his way to safety, but he's still going to be dropped. Drops the Ignite onto Ryless, who's got plenty of shields, but Poopsers shows up in the bottom lane, trying to get something back. However, Anime Lover already here with that Nico, making sure that nothing else goes down. So, with that, a little bit of a win for GMU. They lose their turret, but they get one back.
Yeah, so right now it's looking like that George Mason is at least trying to keep the pace set, and a lot of this is thanks to Firefly, who is just using this Nocturne pick to its fullest potential. I think without him, this game is in an entirely different state. And we also have to think the Sejuani pick that can happen too, right? Because that's actually one of the free kills. It's the first level 6 for both of them.
Railgun, low health in that top lane, flashes away the last second. Ion, despite a nice fight, doesn't get anything.
Yeah, really unfortunate.
4,000 gold lead for UT Austin. They're doing very, very well, but they're not out of the forest just yet. Well, they're not dominating as hard as they did in Game 3. Now, they were able to secure the Rift Herald. Urgot was able to grab that, so Celsius doing well there by getting that. Now can drop it and give themselves probably in the mid lane. That third turret is so good to take out all 3 of those exterior turrets. Gives you a lot more freedom on the map. Firefly gonna step forward. There's gonna be the Pop Blossom. Poopsters just ults herself. Lissandra Glacial tombs herself and immediately gets out ult for ult traded. Poopster's pretty happy about that. Go, gets rooted up. Hold on, the Paranoia comes in. Nocturne's going to punish her for not having the ultimate, but they can turn onto the Lucian. His culling not going to do that much. Burns out Firefly low. Winds of War can't catch out Anime Lover, but they take down the Nocturne, so they will get one. Drop the Rift Herald. No other pressure here. Ryless shows up, seeing what she can do, but it's not going to be that much, as Rift Herald should be able to just walk in and charge down this turret. It's not going to actually clear it in one charge. The rest of the team going to have to step forward to make sure they can clear that. They don't have anyone in the side lanes right now. It's all about this mid lane. They take down the first tier turret. Now Shelly to charge onto this second turret. Hold on. Shelly might go down before that happens. Yeah. Good run from GMU to clear that up.
Yeah, that at least feels decent on their part to be able to get the Rift Herald before it gets the second charge off, because we all know it's going to cleave about half of the health off. But just to give the shout out here, Firefly, entirely selfless, flashes in because he has just a little bit more HP than his partner there. If they do win, I think he's the MVP here for George Mason.
Ryless getting a chunk of health knocked off with those exploding barrels. Ion is here, though. Super tanky has that Sunfire cape. Needs to be that frontline tank. GP absorbing that root. Lissandra's in the back line. She doesn't have her ultimate, though. So Nico Pop Blossom's going to land under 4 members. They've taken out the Lucian. Sejuani is going to fall. Anime Lover deeply low. Almost goes down to the Urgot ultimate, but they can't find the last bit of damage. However, GP will burst her down. Take that out. Now they can turn onto the Infernal Drake. It is a 4,000 gold lead to 3 members from GMU that are still alive. Don't want to give this up just yet. Celsius is so darn low. He needs to live long enough to smite the Infernal Drake away, but he can't do it. Nocturne steals it. Takes out the Urgot as well. And now the GP in trouble. Railgun's got nothing. Gonna go down as Enrique finally finds his first kill of the game.
Yeah, so last game it was Requiem who turned me into a fan with that fancy footwork on Sivir, and this game is just Firefly playing my one trick unbelievably well, while his team is just honestly playing on the back foot. He plays on the front. Man, this man is a legend. Steals the Infernal Drake, gets the kills. He dies for it, but he gets it.
He gets it, and that's what GMU needs to come back in this game. They're
I'm not
still
sure if
down
it's come
2,000
back.
gold. Well, they're still down 2,000 gold. They've lost all of their exterior turrets. They don't have any turret on the enemy side. And the Baron is going to be up in just a short while.
All right, it's definitely come back. What's your point?
Well, they're not out of the game. Definitely in better position than the last game. Anime Lover, nice clone to just walk away. Lysandra TP going to be stopped as well as Ion. Going to go in and find a nice stun. Drop Poopsters down to half. Lysandra, however, knows the Sejuani doesn't have much else. Looking like Poopsters may just be focusing on the wave clear, as all of that vision and pressure now going to be rotating by UT Austin towards this Baron that will be up in a minute 30.
Yeah, no, UT Austin has shown us time and time again throughout the series that they're just like mechanically the better team. And that means that if I do think we get the 5v5 fight over the Baron, I do think that they're going to end up winning out here. The big question mark for me, at least, is Anime Lover and Firefly right now. Although you always have to give Enrique credit, right? He is one of the three master tier players in this game. Playing a hyperscaling champion, the issue is he's going to need that second or third item, so I don't know if that'll exactly be an issue.
Gonna be a little bit before the Sivir gets there. However, when Sivir gets there, she can definitely come online, and it will hurt when she does. And then it'll be all down to positioning. And that's actually something that Austin doesn't really have. They don't have any assassins. They don't have anyone that can get to that back line fairly easily. So it's going to be either up to Lysandra to try to find the pick, or for them to just straight up win the 5v5 fight with those frontliners of the Galio, the Urgot, and potentially the GP as the game goes later. Anime Lover just chilling up here in that top side. Wants to pair up against this Lysandra, as he's overall done fantastically. You can see about 20 CS up over Lysandra, so definitely winning the 1v1 overall. But Lysandra definitely not shy herself. Poopsters 2-1-3 on that champion so far.
Now, the lanes seem to have devolved, and it's odd that we actually have a 4-stack in the top lane against a 3-stack. Teleport is channel.
Thank you for the win. Burns a bunch of spells trying to CC Anime Lover, but Ion's going to show up and punish. They get the knock up and the knockdown, and now the Nocturne's going to fly on in. Can't find the fear onto Poopsters. Rest of the team going to break in. Requiem is here as well, joining his teammates. GP is on the bottom side of the map, split pushing. They get one, the support, and back away for GMU.
Yeah, just like honestly, the Sejuani play has been pretty incredible. I think that makes all the difference here, and that's not a champion you normally think of as requiring mechanical skill, but wow, actually showing the prowess of it here.
So neither team rushing to the Baron after that fight. It was only a support that went down, and honestly, thank you for the win. Burned quite a bit and didn't really have the team to follow up to try to burst down this Nico. And maybe thought that he could kind of catch Nico out a little bit, get a bit of harassment before backing away himself. Firefly going to be dropped low, forced to flash over the walls. Keep that in mind. Nocturne flashes down. Bit of a push here from UT Austin in the mid lane, but they back away, looking for, again, that vision around Baron.
Yeah, no, as they are going to be sweeping out most of the vision here. Oh, they just miss it! Thankfully, they put the control ward. I absolutely love it when players don't just mindlessly place vision around the Baron.
Oh, they're going to try to Fnatic push. We're actually going to zoom out and get a little bit of vision to see where the side of GMU go, as they're kind of doing a little bit of Fnatic push themselves. Both teams testing the waters. It's a push from the minions on the top side, so GMU have that advantage, and the bottom lane is actually pushing in their advantage as well. Sivir ultimate has been burned, so that engage tool off the table. Might be what Austin wants.
Anime Lover taking a bit of damage.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Requiem
that was a
hurts.
bit turned into a lot. Yeah, that's press the attack with an extra auto, I think, layered on top of it. And
oh, the engage on the Lysandra. She's just going to ult. Hold on. I think she ulted the Sejuani. I'm not even sure how that worked.
So that can also happen even if you press alt and then R to try to self-ult yourself. It's rare, but it's really frustrating.
Well,
still, that's the 100%. I'm sure that players like this are doing that.
Lysandra is down. That means it's a 4v5. However, Austin's not afraid. Is still trying to go in. Requiem's got a nice culling damage, clearing out those minions, but he's been dropped himself. Sivir's got the damage. She's going to take him out, and now the Sejuani re-engage. Looking for the slows onto two members. Taking for the win. Dropping low. Gets the redemption heal. In the meantime, Nocturne's taking out the Ocean Drake for his own team, tying up those Drakes 2 for 2 at the moment. keeping things fairly even. They're still down 2,000 gold, but they are not out of this game, and they are finding picks.
So, yeah, the finding the picks isn't the hardest thing in the world when you got yourself a Nico. Wow, this gold lead, though, still somehow firmly in the side of UT Austin. And I mean, when I say firmly, I mean relative to this series, right? Because besides the one blowout game, we really haven't had series that have been too far apart. The Drakes are actually exactly even, too. Oh, I think most of the gold's just standing gold in these outer turrets, right?
A lot of the gold. There's a few that have some minion CS leads, like the Lucian, still about 30 farm over the Sivir. If you look at the Gangplank, about 40 farm over the Sejuani. However, Nico got herself a bit of a lead as well, about 30 farm over the Lissandra. So it kind of gives you an idea for where the powerhouses are between these two teams. Nico, 2 items completed to the 1.5 on Lissandra, really wants her Zhonya's before trying to re-engage in any big fight.
Yeah, the Zhonya's is a very big tool for the Nico. It's just another layer on top of
Sejuani engaged. Hold on. There's the Paranoia from the Nocturne as well. However, it's onto the Galio, the support. He can take it up. Lissandra gets this the golden stopwatch to avoid death for a short while before finally going down, but it's still the fight won by Austin as Ione going to be dropped down. Celsius continuing to just burn and turn. Rylas extremely low. The chase may continue. Railgun doesn't have his ultimate available. Nobody can chase in onto those two as they're just a bit too fast, but still, that's going to be a 3-4-1. They could turn immediately onto the Baron. They just might.
So I have to be honest with you here. I was working a little too hard for Fireflies, so when he dove in there and was targeted by both the Urgot and by the Lucian ultimate, the Culling, I closed my eyes. I couldn't watch. So I don't actually know what happened that team fight. And I wish I was lying to you, but like I actually closed my eyes.
You're just like, oh no, the pain. Hate to see it.
I knew where it was going.
Baron to UT Austin, as it's been a little bit, but they finally got it back underneath their feet. They say, all right, we've had a little bit of skirmishing, a little bit of fun, but let's get this back under control. Let's go ahead, take our breather, and now that we've won the fight, we're going to get the Baron. We can start to get back into what we're used to, which is being in control of these games. The fight did not work out so well because once again, GMU tried to burst down the Galio, and this time they get punished. As Galio scales, he's going to be harder and harder to kill. He's over 2,000 health now, and they left the carries practically alone. Lucian was almost untouched, and Lissandra, while 3 people jumped on her, she had her ult, and she had the golden stopwatch that she could use to delay. Finally went down, but the team fight was already won because everyone was just standing around waiting for Lissandra to come out of those untargetable abilities.
Yeah. So,
suspend? I'm trying to remember like the name of what happens when you go golden. Sorry, go ahead.
I believe it's stasis. No. I don't
stasis.
actually know.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Is kind of go in stasis mode. It's okay either way. She did survive long enough for Austin to get the win. Go ahead with what you're trying to say. It's a nice push into the middle.
Yeah, 25 minutes into 30 minutes, depending on how well a Nocturne did, he reaches the point of no return in which he's useful for only using his ultimate to deny vision and using his ultimate to dive onto a single target and give up his life for them. He can 1v1 people who are out of position as well. Those are his 3 uses. Outside of that, he is entirely worth nothing grouping, except for a Q on a wave and an auto.
Oh, hold on. Lissandra ults herself. Anime Lover's clone causing a lot of disruption there, but a good catch by the Nico snare into the Q from Sivir. Drops Lissandra low. However, her ultimate's just going to revive her back up to almost full health. They get that second tier turret in the mid lane. Now can rotate towards the bottom side.
Yeah, no, that's the mark of a good Nico there, is when they're willing to, like, use their clone to run forward off his snares, you know, bait some abilities out. Really helps, especially when they think you're going to use your ultimate. Now, I am curious to see what's going to happen here with this inner turret. As Requiem deals a lot of damage, does get caught out by the Sejuani.
Oh, Nocturne to the back line. The Redemption's dropping. Nocturne's gone, bringing everyone back up, and GP ult's gonna land onto 4 members. Look at the damage. Are you kidding me? Railgun's into the back line. In the meantime, Nico's trying to do what she can, but she's already been taken down. The GP is gonna finish the Sivir off as well, and that is practically an ace. The Karma, the only one left alive. No one even cared to finish off the support because UT Austin with the Baron are going to clean up, move in onto the inhibitor bottom lane turret. They should be able to secure the turret and the inhibitor as well. Celsius is extremely low, needs to keep his eye on where Karma's flinging these spells. They get the inhibitor and they get away.
Yeah, that's just exactly what UT Austin wanted to do there. And I mean, with 4 members watching the game in black and white right now on the side of George Mason, they have a little bit of time to strategize on how they're going to finally, you know, put their foothold back into the game. I'd like to say that they had come back. The issue is both of these outer turrets are still up, and this is what we were kind of talking about as being what they have to destroy if they want to consider themselves back into the game. And during that time, which they didn't destroy those, they get shoved in more and lose the inhibitor, breaking the base, right? This puts them in a position where I think they might have to start making desperation plays. I'm not sure where or over what, but it's not bad to start thinking about them. Oh, it is stasis. Haha.
It is indeed. Caster's learning on the fly. It's a 6, 7, 8,000 gold lead for the side of UT Austin. Maybe a little bit less than that. Either way, they definitely have advantages. They've lost the Baron, but everyone's got 2 to 3 items, and they are feeling pretty good. With that inhibitor down on the bottom side, you couldn't ask for a better inhibitor when the Baron comes up in a minute 30. They could just wait this out, or they could look for the second tier turn on this top side.
No, it looks like that what we're going to get is super minions coming in on the bot side, Lissandra shoving in the mid with an Urgot who's roaming in between with the Galio. Both of them are going to control the jungle, control vision around that area.
All right, they're going to take out that second tier turret. They're not worried about the Baron as it's not available for another minute. They say, let's take a couple structures on our waiting time.
Yeah, now with Lissandra walking into the mid lane and Sejuani relegated to clearing out super minions in the bot, what we're actually going to see happen here is they're going to force a man disadvantage on the side of George Mason. But it looks like George Mason wants to take this fight while they might actually have a 4v5.
This is definitely looking rough for the Mason unit as they still have good health bars, but they've lost so much on their structures. And with Baron spawning in 30 seconds, they really don't have many options for trying to fight for it. They can't 5v5 at this point because Austin's just way too far ahead. Their only hope is to maybe catch one of these recall picks, but everyone's too far away from the base as everyone from GMU is still just sitting on wave clear duty.
Yeah, so I'm trying to imagine this scenario in which, you know, they're able to kind of put themselves in the position to start taking these outer turrets and take the inner turrets, finally crack a base. I think if they do take a Baron, that's a great start, but I don't even think that's it. At this point, they have to steal the Baron away, and 3 members have to live after a fight. They don't even have to kill anyone on the other side, but 3 people have to live with that fight.
Well, the Baron's been started up. No one here from GMU to try to take it away. I think that they may say it's time to just turtle, see if we can survive another siege. And with the Urgot getting to 3,000 health, Galio above 3,000 health, it's going to be tough to get through this front line of Austin.
There's a redemption. There's a Zonias to get through, right? At least there's no Guardian Angels yet. There's a little bit of leeway for them. On the other side, they do have a stopwatch, so at least they're not without it. They also have a redemption themselves. George Mason isn't entirely out of it in terms of utility right now. A quick look at the summoner spells will tell you that everybody is fully stocked except for the Gangplank and the Lissandra, both flashless, might be up in a wave or 2. So if they do want to fight, they are technically with the most advantage right
hold
now,
on, Lissandra's chunk low, under 200 health. Woo! Good poke from Anime Lover and Enrique.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't notice that. It's a totally different game. Enrique has hit his 3-item power spike. Now, he chose a really weird build path. I didn't want to mention it because I get accused of flaming quite a bit. But he went Rapid Fire Cannon into Essence Reaver instead of IE second. But he's finally finished the Infinity Edge, which means that was an entirely irrelevant choice at this stage in the game.
Well, here comes the
this is
TP
big.
with
He's
Lysandra. That's the
frontlining.
play going to do what they can. Lysandra coming in. The Sejuani is here, seeing what she can make happen. Nico's into the back line. The Pop Blossom's only going to land on one. Not going to matter as Lysandra is going to go ahead and hold on. That was, yeah, Lysandra ulted herself. Nocturne falls. That is practically an ace. Nico, the only one to get out because she wasn't even involved in most of the fight. And Austin practically aced that. Have the Baron, have the base, have the Nexus turrets themselves. UT Austin will win this best of 5 series.
Wow, congratulations to them. That looked like that was a fight that they might have actually lost, and they just found a way to pull that through. Wow, I think the biggest issue with that fight starts with Enrique frontlining and then ending up back on the front line after, you know, routing himself into the back end. This Sivir needed to just lay down damage. Yeah, that just feels unfortunate.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
To the point.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, yeah, it was just one of those things that GMU, again and again and again, they were playing more to scaling. Their lanes were just not that good, and they continued to lose the early game to UT Austin. And as things progress and move forward through the series and through these different games, Austin really showed why they're one of the teams that have made it to these playoffs games, have done a fantastic job. I don't know why my music randomly chose to play Silver Scrapes, even though we're not going to be going into a game 5. That's so pretty awesome.
You were just prepped.
I was just prepped and ready. I didn't even know it, and I was prepped and ready with my playlist. People to shout out. I gotta give a shout out, though, to Requiem, who consistently, every single game, paired with Thank You for Win, did an amazing job in that bottom lane. Even this last game, taking away Rylast's Galio and still showing up huge. 18 assists. Look at that kill participation. And Requiem, a carrying force for Austin again and again. Perfect positioning for those team fights.
Yeah, now if I had to just put a spotlight onto one member, I'd put it onto 2 because I have an issue with the rules. Celsius and Firefly, both phenomenal junglers. And I think that this last series kind of showed that they both developed and grew throughout each game. And I don't think I can say that about about every single member on either team. But it's definitely true about both of these junglers, right? They just consistently saw themselves adapting and changing to the point where we ended up with Urgot versus Nocturne in the jungle, right? And the Urgot play was actually pretty much near perfect.
It was really, really amazing to watch. We want to thank both these teams for an incredible, incredible series. And we were grateful to watch all of it. I know that it might feel like we're just cutting it a bit short. We finally got to the crazy point of action. But we are going to go ahead and start to wrap things up here. Sit Straight, thank you so much for a fantastic casting. Appreciate you coming out, hanging out, and casting with us. Anything you want to mention before we bring this stream to a close?
I think I'm supposed to shout things out, but that's normally not how I do. I really just want to wish the best of luck to UT Austin as they go up into the finals. I won't be rooting for you because that'd be unprofessional.
Oh.
But no, I really do wish you the best of luck. It seems like you have a great team, and to anyone who is going against them, word of advice, I don't think that you can ban Requiem out per se. I don't think that you can ban Poopers out per se, and I really don't think that you can ban Celsius out. But I didn't see anyone really try to ban Thank You for Win or Railgun out. And I think that might look like a different situation. But I haven't looked at their pools, so I don't know exactly.
A little bit of sneaky advice for the team that's going to be playing up against them. Either way, that will be next Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been XLNC Shoutcasting. We cast every Tuesday and Thursday night. Teams and solo games, all sorts of good fun. You can use the ! Discord if you're interested more in that. Drop that follow if you wanted to check in the future. But either way, we're going to go ahead and roll the credits, find a stream to jump into, and thank you all for just coming out and being a fantastic Twitch audience.